Everywhere you look, it seems like love is easy, but behind the screens, so many Muslim women are asking the same quiet question: why can't I find my soulmate? It's not that you don't want it. You make dear, you meet people, but somehow nothing works out. There are real reasons why so many sisters today can't find a soulmate. Reasons that are painful but also fixable, and the sooner you see them, the sooner you'll understand that Allah hasn't forgotten you. He's waiting for you to change just one thing before he sends the person written for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's talk about why so many Muslim women today can't find their soulmate. Unrealistic standards. One of the biggest reasons so many sisters can't find a soulmate today isn't that good men don't exist. It's that the bar for what a good man looks like has been set by the wrong standards. Picture this: a brother comes for a proposal. He's respectful, he prays, he has a stable job. He's not perfect, but his character is there. After he leaves, the whispers start. He's nice, but he's not earning 6 figures. He's not tall, he doesn't have the lifestyle your cousin's husband gives her. Suddenly sincerity and deen are forgotten, and the whole proposal is dismissed because the package didn't match the filters. It's not that sisters don't care about religion, they do, but society added 100 filters on top of it. Now it's not just deen, it's deen plus height, plus salary, plus looks, plus whether he matches the polished men on Instagram. You see it everywhere. A cousin gets married to a doctor, and suddenly everyone a friend gets engaged to someone abroad, and you start feeling like you'll look less if you choose someone simpler. At weddings, the comments aren't about the character of the groom, they're about the car he drove in, the size of the stage, the gold on display. And slowly standards that started small become walls. Years pass. Good brothers with sincerity, deen and character get overlooked because they didn't look like an influencer or they didn't fit a fantasy built on social media reels and cultural pride. The sad part, many sisters admit later, maybe I wasn't rejecting the wrong men. Maybe I was rejecting real men for imaginary ones. And that's the silent test, not realizing until it's too late that love was missed, not because Allah didn't send it, but because society blinded us to what it looked like. Materialism and family pressure. Sometimes, even when a sister herself is ready to marry someone sincere, her own family becomes the biggest obstacle, not because the brother lacks deen, not because he lacks character, but because of numbers, status and dunya. How many stories start like this? A decent brother comes with a clean heart and a real intention. He prays, he works, he's stable, not rich, but responsible. The sister feels okay with him, but then the conversation shifts. How much mahar can he give? How big is the wedding? What will people say if it's not grand? And suddenly the whole proposal is rejected, not because of who he is, but because of what he couldn't spend. This is the silent heartbreak of our time. Parents who delay their daughter's marriage waiting for a bigger check. Families who measure a man's worth not by his taqwa, but by the size of the gold tray he puts on the table. Sisters left watching proposals pass by, helpless because their price tag was set too high for sincere men to reach. And it doesn't stop there. Weddings have become competition. One cousin books a 5-star hall, so the next family says, we have to do better. The sister's wishes are buried under family pride. The focus shifts from nikah to spectacle, from building a home to entertaining the world. The saddest part, many sisters quietly admit, I would have been happy with a simple wedding. I would have been happy with a modest mahar. But my family said no, and by the time years pass, the regret sinks in. Sincerity was turned away, and nothing came in its place. Islam made marriage simple. We made it expensive, and now we sit wondering why so many women can't find a soulmate. Fear of commitment. After hurt. For many sisters, it's not that they don't want marriage, it's that somewhere along the way, trust was broken. Maybe it was an engagement that fell apart. Families met, plans were made, dreams were drawn, then suddenly it collapsed. Everyone moved on, but she still carries the fear. What if it happens again? What if I go through that same humiliation twice? Or maybe it wasn't an engagement, but promises, a brother who spoke about marriage, who swore he was serious, who pulled her heart in, only to vanish when things got real, and now every time someone new comes, his ghost shows up too. She replays his lies in her mind, even when the new man is nothing like him. And for others, the fear comes from childhood, watching their parents fight, watching marriages in their family break. Deep down they whisper, what if my marriage looks the same? What if I end up trapped in what I grew up watching? From the outside, people call her picky. They say you're rejecting good men for no reason. But the truth is different. It's not arrogance, it's not pride, it's fear. Fear of being hurt again, fear of being vulnerable again, fear of trusting someone who might leave her shattered all over. And that fear builds a silent wall. Every proposal is met with hesitation. Every opportunity feels too risky. And slowly, years pass, not because she wanted to wait, but because her wounds never healed enough to let her say yes. If this is you, hear this clearly. Your fear is real, but it's not the end of your story. Allah is the healer of hearts. He can rewrite your story cleaner than before. But to find your soulmate, you cannot marry your fear. You have to hand that fear back to Allah. The endless talking stage. One of the most painful reasons sisters can't find a soulmate isn't a lack of men, it's wasted time. Years lost in what we now call the talking stage. It always starts with hope. He says he's serious. He says, just give me time, I'll bring my family soon. So you wait. 1 month turns into 6. 6 turns into a year. And every time you bring it up, the mood shifts. Don't rush. Why are you pushing? Trust me. But trust without action is just delay. And delay slowly becomes damage. You start noticing the cycle. He calls when he's lonely, but disappears when you need clarity. He promises timelines, then replaces them with new excuses. After exams, after I get this job, after I travel. But every after turns into another after. And meanwhile, your years are slipping away in maintenance mode. The hardest part, you don't feel chosen, you feel parked. Like your heart is sitting in a waiting room for a future that never arrives. Islam never designed love to live in shadows. Nikah is meant to be clear, dignified and timely. If someone truly intends kaya for you, they don't keep you hidden. They don't keep you waiting in circles. They move, even if slowly, even if imperfectly, forward. So if your story looks more like an endless stall than a steady path, maybe that delay isn't true love, taking time. Maybe it's Allah protecting you from years of waiting for someone who was never planning to arrive. Delaying marriage. Sometimes it isn't someone else slowing you down. It's the calendar you keep pushing forward yourself. It starts with a good reason. After I graduate, you keep your head down, you work hard. You tell yourself marriage will distract you. Graduation comes, and a new door opens. After I get the job, the first year at work is intense. New team, new hours, new targets. You blink, and it's year 2. After this promotion, then it's after I travel. Then after I save more. And quietly, without any drama, time moves faster than your plans. Sometimes it isn't even you. It's the people who love you. Not yet. Focus on your degree. We'll talk about marriage when you're settled. Then now we need someone at your level. The list grows longer. Salary, city, status. Proposals that could have worked get filtered out because the timing never feels perfect. You're not anti-marriage. You're not refusing good men on purpose. Life just kept giving you the next step, and marriage kept living in later. But there's a cost no one warns you about. The longer later lives, the heavier it gets. Options shrink, hearts harden, fear grows. You start to feel like you missed a train you always meant to catch. This isn't about killing ambition. Build, study, travel, earn. But if marriage is part of your deen and your dream, it can't survive forever in the after column. There is no perfect window where career pauses, emotions stabilize, family aligns, and risk looks cinematic. Real life doesn't hand out perfect timing, it rewards honest priorities. If this sounds like you, make one small shift. Stop treating marriage like a distraction and start treating it like a pillar to plan around. That might mean telling your family clearly and kindly, "I'm ready to consider serious proposals alongside my work." It might mean saying yes to a sincere brother, even if the wedding is simple and the first apartment is modest. It might mean choosing a path where you grow two things at once: your future and your faith, without waiting for a fantasy pause that never comes. You don't need to rush, you do need to stop hiding behind perfect timing. Later is a moving target, intention is a decision. Forgetting Allah and the search after all the effort, after all the meetings, after all the rejections. Many sisters reach the same breaking point. Why can't I find my soulmate? But here's the part no one wants to admit. Sometimes it's because we've searched everywhere except with Allah. We sit with families comparing resumes and profiles, but istikhara never gets prayed. We cry to our friends about heartbreak, but our hands never rise in dua. Parents run through contacts and networks, but the Quran is never opened for guidance. We chase through every door, but the one who opens doors hasn't been asked. It's not about being perfect. Nobody here is an angel, but if your heart feels blocked, if every path feels heavy, maybe it's because Allah is holding it back, waiting for you to turn to Him first. Your soulmate isn't hidden because Allah forgot you. They're withheld because Allah knows your heart isn't ready yet. Marriage was never just a social plan, it's a spiritual plan, and the one who truly wants a spouse has to search with their forehead on the ground, not just their fingers on the phone, because in the end, spouses aren't written in apps, in family pride or in Instagram reel. They're written in Allah al-Mahfuz, by the one who knows you better than you know yourself. And once you see that, everything shifts. You stop chasing with panic, and you start waiting with trust. And maybe that's the point of all of this. These reasons aren't here to make you feel broken, or to convince you that marriage is impossible. They're here to show you why the path feels heavy, and to remind you that heaviness itself can be a form of protection. Because at the end of the day, your soulmate isn't chosen by society. They're not chosen by resumes or weddings or culture. They're chosen by Allah. And when He writes something, no wall can block it, no delay can erase it, no rejection can cancel it. The Prophet ﷺ said, "You will never leave something for the sake of Allah, except that Allah will replace it with something better." Maybe that's why certain people didn't stay. Not because you weren't good enough, but because Allah is saving you from less so He can give you better. So if you listened to all of this and thought, "I saw myself in every reason. I wasted years, I made mistakes, I'm late," don't let Shaitan turn that into despair. Allah doesn't punish you by withholding, He prepares you by protecting. And every tawbah is a reset button. Every dua is a new door. And if you're scared of missing your chance, remember this: Allah never misses. What's written for you will arrive, not early, not late, but exactly when you're ready to hold it. Your job isn't to chase with panic. Your job is to trust, to prepare, to keep your heart close to Him. So leave this video lighter, not heavier, not thinking, "It will never happen for me," but knowing, when Allah decides, it will happen for me. May Allah bless every sister with clarity, patience, and a righteous spouse, who is a source of mercy, not pain. May Allah open the right doors, close the wrong ones, and grant you barakah in every step. Ameen. And if you made it this far, write in the comments, "May Allah grant us spouses who bring us closer to Him." And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Someone you know might need this reminder today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmat.